These 9 days of Sharada Navaratri has been told to us again and again is one of the most sacred times of the year. It's part of the Chaturmasya, where we begin with Ashadi Ekadashi, Guru Purnima, then we go through several festivities including Ganesh Chaturthi, Krishna Ashtami, and keep celebrating festivals till we come to Navaratri, which is towards the tapering end of the Chaturmasya Vratam. In India, these 4 months were kept very, very special months in the whole of the year, starting with Ashada. Then we come to the month of Ashwina, which is now. And all these months were kept aside, especially because this is also the rainy season and we were agricultural economy. Most of our people were agriculturists. So in the rainy season, you cannot go out. Most of the rivers were overflowing. So people remained in their homes. And what do when they are at homes? They would think of God, they would perform rituals, they will celebrate festivities, and they will invite sages to their villages. Because these sannyasis, monks, were not supposed to stay in one place for a long. That is why I don't stay at any one place for too long. They have to keep on moving around. How? Like a fish moves in the water and cleans the water. Like that. Vasantavat lokahitam charantaha, it is said. They keep moving around like spring season comes and goes and brings joy. They also, not for their sake, janana hetuhu, na anyanapi, not for any other sake, but for the sake of benefit of all, they go, they preached, they talk about scriptures, they teach all the householders about their dharma. And this is how they were spreading this sacred message of our Vedas by moving around. But during the Chaturmasyam, they cannot move around because it's wet everywhere, it's raining, and they don't have a place to stay. And then there are other insects which come out. They should not get trampled under the feet. So there were many reasons why they would not move. At that time, they will take refuge at the house of some of the householders in the village. And most of the village houses, even today, the other day I was going through Bapatla, that little place, and I was watching those village houses. They all have a little veranda outside the house, a shaded veranda, a covered veranda where you can go, any passersby can go and sit. No fence, no boundary, no gates. That was allowed for any passerby, any traveler, or even sages and saints to just rest themselves. They could even take a nap on the veranda. Nobody would ask them any question. So that was our culture. So these verandas were kept for these sages because sannyasis won't enter inside the house of the householder. They have to stay away from such engagement. So they would always stay outside on the veranda, and they will give discourses. People will come listen to the discourses, and because the sannyasis lived a very strict life, they ate only one time, they slept on the hard floor, they were not engaged in other activities other than rituals, prayers, and ate very sacred sattvic food. So naturally, when you have a guest and guest is God, all the family will also behave correctly out of respect. So whatever the sannyasi would eat, people prepared that food, sattvic food at home. They lived a very sattvic life. They woke up like sannyasis woke up early in the morning. They also woke up and did their pujas and they listened to the pravachanas. So these 3-4 months they will spend continuously in the contemplation of the scriptures, listening to the discourses from these great sages and saints and the monks and ascetics who will pass by their villages. And that's how they would purify their minds. 8 months of the year, they're busy doing agriculture, they're busy performing marriages, they're busy with their family affairs and other activities, economic and social. But this is the time of the year they would keep aside for only God. And all the time will be spent in just meditation, listening to the good scriptures, and cleansing oneself of all the negativities. This is the idea of why festivals were kept as an integral part of our Indian culture and our heritage. Like you go out to play, let us say you go out to the market. You wear very bright dress, very clean dress, but once you go to the market, there is dust and dirt everywhere. It settles on your body and clothes. Then what do? You come back, you wash, you take a shower, you wash your clothes, clean them, then you can wear them again. Likewise, our mind, which is engaged in daily affairs of the world, which are sometimes selfish, self-centered, sometimes they're not so nice, negative thoughts come, anxieties come, so many other worries come. All the other kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, harishat vargas come. So our mind also gets kind of dirty over a period of time. And it also needs a good washing and cleaning. During every day you must pray and meditate so that every day you are clean. But some deep cleaning is required at some point in time and becomes very dirty. So these 4 months are like a deep cleansing of the mind and body and purifying ourselves so that we are able to understand what the Guru is trying to teach us. See, Guru is trying to tell, Guru is trying to teach, but if we are not capable of understanding it because of our impurities, all that will get wasted. So this was the job that was done during the Chaturmasya. And now because we have an institution, obviously everybody stays in the same place and we keep discussing and talking about it on a regular basis, more so in a concentrated, in an intense way. I always say when the sunlight passes through a plain glass, it is just scattered light. Nothing happens. But when you pass it through a lens, all the rays converge. And when they converge, the power of that convergence is so much, the intensity is so much, the heat is so much that it can burn a piece of paper. Likewise, when so many minds, all of us, with such intensity are continuously thinking of divine, the power that it generates, the energy and the vibes that it generates, that is capable of transforming all of us, burning all our lower desires and ideas and liberating us from this, whatever is a samsara panka, the dirt and the filth of the world is washed away. And that's how we become clean again. To become dirty once more, of course. But if we can keep ourselves clean by continuously doing this, then we don't have to worry about again, whether we are committing sins or committing good works or whatever. Because we are always in the state of that. So I have been talking to you about Brahmasthiti. I have been talking about what is God as Brahman in our scripture. What is that existence in us? It exists as the consciousness beyond our physical world, beyond our senses in the body, beyond our antakarna or the mind. There is this awareness, prajnana, which is the presence of divinity in all of us. Nobody can say, I don't have any prajnana at all. The very fact that you are telling you don't have a prajnana because you have a prajnana that you think that you don't have prajnana. So that is the logic. You cannot defy the existence of God because your very existence is the proof of the existence of God. Period. That is our logic in our scriptures. So we are like that. All are divine, but realization of this divinity does not happen. Just like the soot that covers the lamp does not allow the light of the lamp to be seen. Or the clouds that form by the very sun which shines upon a water body. And then that water goes up, becomes the cloud and covers the very sun and creates darkness around. Likewise, this world that has come out of God, this mind that also has come out of God, this body that has also come out of God, tends to hide God only from us. Hides the very experience of God from us. That is the reason why we are not able to experience it at all times. At that point in time, scriptures, these rituals, all these discourses, contemplation, meditation, these are various techniques that come to our rescue to purify our mind and again feel one with our supreme divinity. Once we are in that sthiti, we have no worries, no anxieties, no negativities, no attachments, no desires, nothing is left there. That is the ultimate state of existence which our scriptures extol. But you have to be sincere on this path. Simply by attending yajnas and listening to discourse, it won't come to us. We must put self-efforts. It needs to choose you, to reveal itself to you. Why? Because you have chosen it in the first place. Kaschid dhira pratyagatmanam aikshat avritta chakshu amritatvam. Somebody out of thousands of people turn their gaze inwards to attain this supreme immortal bliss. All others are looking outside. Paranchikani, Ratran Swayambhu, we read in Kathopanishad. All the senses run outwards. When we run outwards, we don't find God. We don't find that experience. But when we turn within, yesterday we learned Drigadrishya Viveka. How do we turn within? From the object to the eyes, from the eyes to the mind, from the mind to the consciousness which is watching the mind. That consciousness is ultimate existence. And if we can always be situated in this consciousness and watch our mind and thoughts, watch our body and actions, and watch the world around us, we are always in that Brahmasthiti. What is it like to be in that Brahmasthiti? It is a very, as scriptures describe, Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat, bliss or supreme state of happiness. A happiness which is beyond all these conditioning. We are happy when we eat good food. When hunger comes again, we are unhappy. We are happy when we get good marks. Next time we don't get good marks, we are unhappy. So between Nanda and Ananda means between happiness of this type and the sorrow that comes thereafter. Beyond that, there is a state of existence that is called as Ananda, which does not change with changing times and circumstances. So that is the state of Brahmasthiti. How to attain that Ananda, which is absence of all kinds of deviations, all kinds of vagaries, all kinds of distortions. You have to purify your mind. That is the only Chitta Shuddha. Chitta Shuddhi is the only way to that Atma Siddhi. There is no other way. So Chitta Shuddhi means pure heart. Pure heart means no selfishness, no greed, no attachments, no negativity, no desires. If you have to develop that kind of a pure heart and retain it all the time, then you have to always, all the time engage, not just during these 4 months, not just during these 9 days, but throughout the year you have to maintain that mind pure, so that you're always in the state of Brahmasthiti, means you're in touch with your divinity, and that divinity then becomes your guiding force. Whatever you think, say and do, everything will go right. But when mind interferes with it, like a colored glass interferes with the sunlight and makes it colored light. A red glass you put, the light will become red. So sunlight has no particular color. Likewise, you put a bottle, red bottle, and fill it with water. The water has no color, it appears to be red colored. Likewise, though Supreme Divinity has no such colors or no such attributes, when it passes through a mind which is of worldly nature, it hides the purity of that divinity from us. So whole effort, all sadhana, all idea of all the activities is only to purify our mind of our ego, our attachments, our desires, our negativities, so that divinity can shine forth in all its splendor and glory. That's the idea. So I'll try to answer a few questions.
Swami, are Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati manifestations of the same Divine Mother? Also, why do we worship Durga in 9 different forms?
As I had mentioned earlier, what is the Mother, Divine Mother? The principle of Divine Mother is principle of Shakti. The very ability, the energy that energizes us, animates us, helps us to do all the things. And therefore that same energy, if energy is electrical, now if the electrical energy passes through a light, it becomes light energy. Then it passes through a heater, it becomes heat energy. Then passes through a fan, it becomes wind energy. Like that, the same electricity, which is electrical energy, passes through various different gadgets and becomes different kinds of energies. Likewise, the same Divine Mother's energy, the principle of Shakti energy, when it passes through the Durga form, becomes Kriya Shakti, passes through the Lakshmi form, becomes Ichcha Shakti, passes through the Saraswati form, becomes your Jnana Shakti. So like this, various forms of these energies are various manifestations of the same divine energy principle of Durga, or we call it Parameshwari, call it Lalita Parameshwari, whichever that name. So that is the principle of energy. Why we celebrate for 9 days? There is no particular reason, but one reason that they say is that because she came as Mahishasura Mardini. There was a fight between one demon called Mahisha. Mahisha means buffalo, Dunna Pota, water buffalo. So there was a Mahishasura. That fellow got a boon from Brahma, that nobody can kill him. He wanted to be immortal. Brahma said, that's not possible. Ask me something else. He said, okay, at least he thought of women as very weak and lowly creatures. He thought, fine, no man should be able to kill me, but he forgot to count women in. Because he thought women are anyway weak, anyway if they fight with me, I'll finish them off in no time. So with that arrogance, he told, no man, no god, no demigod, nobody can kill me like that. Basically, no man can kill, no male can kill him. But he forgot to ask that no female should kill him. Like that, when he became very arrogant, was disturbing the peace of the world, that is the time when this goddess, Parameshwari, she took the form of Durga and came as Kali, and then she finished off this Mahishasura, this buffalo demon. But this demon fought with this Devi for 10 days, it seems, 9 nights and 10 days. And every night he will change his form. He had this capacity to change his form from one to another. So every night Durga also had to change her forms and strategies to fight with him. So like that she fought over 9 nights, that is the Purana. But that is why we celebrate for 9 nights or Navaratri, the conquest of this power of Shakti over our negativity. Buffalo represents tamasic guna. Tamasic guna means laziness, inertia, greed, what you call harsh feelings, cruelty. All these negative feelings are represented by that demon, and that cannot be killed by anybody. That's what they say. The only person who can kill is that energy, that Shakti within us, which is divine. Only that divine power, Sattvic Shakti, should take over and kill that tamasic qualities within us. So that is why she is worshipped in 9 forms. This is just to tell a story, though her forms are myriad. You just now heard 1,000 names in Lalita Sahasranama. Every name represents a particular quality or a form of Durga, like that.
Swami, the entire creation is a manifestation of the divine, but Adi Shankara says, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. What should be our approach?
Yes, Adi Shankaracharya is drawing our attention to the transience and impermanence of the world. Now you are standing in front of a mirror. The mirror is reflecting you. Are you there in the mirror? Yes and no. If somebody says, who is there in the mirror? What are you going to say? I am there in the mirror. But are you really there in the mirror? No. Mirror is only reflecting the real you, which is standing on this side. So Shankaracharya is saying like that, the real one is you here, the object. The reflection is unreal. To that extent, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. That's all he's saying. But the reflection is also you. Without you, that reflection also was not possible. So you can also argue that because the reflection is nothing but you only, and because of you the reflection has come, so reflection also should be Brahman only. I agree to that also. But the idea of Shankaracharya is that don't get entangled in these reflections of the world. Because this world's reflections can change. But you do not change. The Atman does not change. The body comes and goes, mind comes and goes, emotions come and go, situations come and go, but the Supreme Self remains. So depend on the Supreme Self, which is Brahman, as the ultimate truth, and all that which happens in your body, mind, emotions, your relations, your world, consider it as a transient and impermanent existence. So it is non-existence. The other very technical thing is Rajju Sarpa Nyaya, that is Adi Shankara uses it, the rope and the snake analogy. In the night you are walking and then you see something, a thing on the road, and you think it's a snake, you get very scared. And you tell your friends, wait, there is a snake on the road. But the snake is not moving. So you think maybe it's a dead snake, maybe it is sleeping, whatever. But when you go close and put a torchlight on it, your teacher comes and puts a torchlight, they say it's not a snake, it's a rope only. You thought it is a snake in the darkness. No, when you saw that it is a snake, you really felt the shivers and cold and the fear, right? All that experience was real. But when you went close and saw it was not a snake, it is a rope, all your fear, anxiety, all your emotions disappeared and confidence came also. Isn't it? So the experience of the world feels so real, like you experience the fear by imagining a snake. Like that, all these joys, sorrows, excitements, ambitions, achievements, which we feel, this is like all those illusory emotions that we get by thinking the world is real, by thinking the snake is real. But a guru comes, throws the wisdom of Upanishads and his own personal courage. He has the courage to go and approach that so-called snake. Because he knows it is not snake, it is only a rope. Because out of his experience of Brahma Jnana, he goes and throws the light of whatever scriptures and wisdom and shows you that rope is actually there, snake is not there. So this is the Nyaya that Shankaracharya talks about. We think world is real, just like we thought snake was real because of the darkness. But the moment we learn the wisdom of the scriptures, we realize that world is only a superimposition on the Brahman. So Brahman is not. When you were seeing the snake, did you see the rope? You did not see. You only saw the snake there. When you saw the rope, did you see the snake? You did not see, because snake wasn't there. Likewise, the one who develops the vision of Brahman does not see the world. In the sense, does not believe in the impermanence of the world, therefore does not get entangled, does not emote, does not get attached. But the one who sees only the world forgets to see God. Just like one who sees the snake does not see the rope. And so they forget that everything is God and they suffer in the world by getting attached to everything in the world. So Brahmagyani is not attached because he knows the truth. Even though it appears to be snake, still he knows in his heart of heart, this is not a snake, this is a rope, nothing to fear. The idea is that Brahman is the real substratum on which the world is staying. Like the screens are there. The screens are, I am here, I am also in the screen, but which is real me? That is also me. If somebody says, what is on the screen? A mother will tell the baby, see, Swami is there on the screen. But am I really there on the screen? No. I'm here. Likewise, is this world really there? No. God alone is. But on God, this world is playing, appearing. So don't get too attached to the world. That is the idea. Next.
Swami, is Parabrahman considered the unmanifested state of consciousness? And if so, can we experience that while we are still embodied?
Mother's love is unmanifested state of love only. It manifests as laddu and cake on birthday and like all this Mahalakshmi's birthday gifts, money. That is manifestation of the unmanifest love of mother. Likewise, unmanifest state of Brahman is consciousness, but manifests through our thoughts, through our emotions, through our actions, through all the world that we see around. That is the idea of Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. All this is Saguna Brahma only. The ant, the insect, the rat, the snake, the stone, the tree, everything is Saguna Brahma only. Because Brahman has manifested itself through Prakriti, through nature, through Shakti as all the matter. So that is Saguna Brahma, you think like that. And the unmanifest love of mother, when she is not cooking for you or cleaning for you, but still in her heart of hearts she feels the love, that unmanifest love is Nirguna Brahma, think like that.
Swami, can you please explain what is meant by Tantra?
I don't like this topic at all. This Tantra is a system of yogic practices which was developed, I do not know when, probably 1500 years ago, by certain people who wanted to practice the occult sciences and yogic sciences. 7 chakras are there, and chakras are energy centers in the body. And each energy center has a role to play. The lowest chakra has role towards whatever your excretion, reproduction and things like that. Like that, as you keep going up, you have this Sahasrara at the end, the 7th chakra, which is in the kind of crop or in the center of your head, crown of your head. And that chakra is the ultimate energy state. So you have lower energy state. Sometimes you wake up very lazy, you see very dull. I have no energy, I don't want to study, I don't want to go. You are in lower chakra somewhere. Your energy in the body is settled there, somewhere lower. Or you get a lot of desire, I want to eat this, and lot of other, what you call, the lustful thoughts and thoughts come. All your energy is concentrated in the lower chakras. As you progress spiritually, your energy starts moving up your chakras, and for a Brahmagyani, it's always settled on the top. While he also does everything else, but mostly his energy is focused over here. Likewise, this energy system, yogic practices can also help you to elevate your energy levels from the lowest chakra to upper chakra. So all our energy levels are somewhere in one of these chakras only, largely concentrated there, also available in other chakras, but it's like 7 bulbs are there. One bulb has all the electricity, others are little dim. So think like that. So all our energies are stationed somewhere in our body chakras. The yogic sciences, especially Tantra, what it does is that it has certain set of practices through which you can push this energy from lower chakras to the higher chakra. And as it keeps moving to the higher chakra and gets stationed there, you have certain experiences. Especially the chakra which is the highest, if it comes to your Agnya chakra, which is somewhere in between your two brows, it gives you insights into other dimensions. It gives you a peep into the future. You know the past and the future, and you get to see things or hear things or experience things which is beyond the physical dimensions. So many people see devatas, many people see ghosts, goblins. All this is because of this chakra which is got opened for them. So every chakra has certain capacities. So yogic sciences of Tantra uses a lot of hard austerities, very difficult austerities. They deprive themselves of food, sleep, shelter, clothing. They live a very hard life because they don't want the energy to be dissipated through any other chakra. You digest, this digestion, Manipura has to be active to digest your food. So they stop eating because they don't want the energy to be spent in Manipura at all. They don't talk because otherwise your Vishuddhi chakra will need all the energy like I am needing right now. So they will always in silence to control, to save, preserve that energy so that all the energy can be slowly pushed into your higher power. But as you elevate, lot of these siddhis come to you, lot of these yogic powers come to you. Many people get distracted and get stuck there only. This is all there in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. You can read, many powers are there. Now don't read for gaining those powers. Let me tell you, this is a waste of time. What does it matter if you gain all these powers and have not realized Brahman, that Brahma Sthiti? Because still these are lower things only. So the ultimate state is your energy is always in your Brahma Chakra or whatever, Brahmarandra, which means you're always in that state of Brahma Sthiti. All the other chakras also are active, but only to the minimal extent as it is required. You also have to eat, you will digest your food, okay. But they don't spend their energy in the lower chakras at all. They're mostly all their energy is concentrated here. So those Brahmagyanis live like that. That's why they live such a detached life, because none of these lower things engage them or attract them.
Swami, how can one develop strong willpower?
If you really, really desire for something, you will develop willpower to gain it. But how do you develop a desire for something? If you really, really know the value of that thing, you will develop strong desire to get it. Once you get strong desire to get it, automatically willpower will develop. So know the value of things, only then you will develop willpower. If you don't know value of things, you'll never have the willpower to work for it. Value is important. Sometimes we don't know the value. Suppose your father buys you a very precious thing, like let us say he bought you a watch. And he will tell you 100 times, this watch is very expensive, be careful, be careful, be careful. You don't know the value of money. If not this watch, another watch. So then you are not careful with it. Likewise, when we know the value of things, we will develop strong desire to yogakshema, means to get it and to preserve it. And we will also have strong willpower to do what is needed to be done to have it.